Hey there, everyone. Welcome into another Beyond the Forecast every Thursday with me, Chief Meteorologist Eric Estriva. I don't want to wait any longer to kind of give you the latest and greatest on our really good opportunity at seeing the northern lights. So we are seeing a severe geomagnetic storm that is happening right now, which has led to us issuing, just from us, specifically here in the Storm Ready Weather Center, an Aurora alert. Say that 5 times fast. An Aurora alert, as it's not going to lead to any issues here at the surface. There might be some issues with your GPS, some satellites up into space because of it, but all that we're going to see, we're just alerting you that the Aurora borealis, the northern lights, could be seen not only overhead, but out there in the sky. You look north, you look on the horizon, you may just catch a glimpse of the dancing colors, the lights, the purples, the greens, the reds out there in the northern sky. Or, again, potentially for some of us, right overhead, as the strongest portion of the storm still ongoing right now. I just visited the Storm or Space Weather Prediction Center's website, and they are indicating that this storm is actually strengthening right now. So we just passed sunset about a half an hour ago. I would give it another half hour and then head outside to see the Aurora borealis. It may be happening here in the state of Michigan as we speak. It's just still a little bit too bright out there to see anything right now. I'm going to jump on Facebook, see if I can make sure that our stream is live and ongoing, and then I'll take you through some of the specifics about this storm as it is going to be potentially a good one to see, again, the Aurora borealis tonight. So we are already getting some reports that even as far south as Connecticut on the eastern seaboard, which is at an even more southerly latitude than we have here in the state of Michigan. So if they're seeing it overhead in Connecticut, we likely have a really good opportunity at seeing the northern lights tonight overhead as well. And that's why, again, we have that Aurora alert in place. That forecast gives us a K-index value of about an 8, but some of the current reports may even get us into a G5, which would be a K-index of 9. So a G5 is a extreme geomagnetic storm. You can see that at the top of this graphic, which would be that K-index of 9. And that would bring some of the aurora potentially on the horizon as far south as Florida, Texas, Louisiana, and we would definitely have a very good opportunity at seeing that overhead. When we get into these G4, G5 storms, we had one back in May. You may remember we were talking about, will the cloud cover stop us from seeing the Aurora borealis? We don't really have the cloud cover here in our forecast tonight. Really good news there. But when we had that G4, G5 in May, we had some very vibrant aurora and northern lights right overhead. And, you know, when we get into G4, G5, I wouldn't say that power outages are going to be a possibility. That would be with the strongest ever solar storm. This is kind of teetering on G4, G5. If we're well into G5 status and they are seeing numbers off the chart, you may start to worry about some of those power grid issues. But for right now, I would just say that satellites could have some problems. We could see the GFS kind of not working as it normally does, but you can see with the G4, G5, maybe down into Florida, southern Texas could see that aurora. So we'll see as we get to 8 o'clock. They'll give us another update to see maybe G5 status has been achieved. Potentially we're seeing another extreme geomagnetic storm coming through. And that was with a solar flare that happened a couple days ago. It sent all of that energy out to space from the sun. So the sun has those certain times where it lets go of a lot of energy into space, and on its current path, it is impacting the Earth right now. I want to show you the Futurecast just to give you a little bit more of the sigh of relief that we are not going to see the clouds really impacting things too much here over the next several hours. I would say 8 p.m. to midnight, which is good news, so you don't have to stay up too late. That would be the time frame that I would get outside and try and see the northern lights. You can see by midnight some of those clouds trying to make it into our northern communities, and then after that, we'll see those clouds starting to fill on in. It's going to be a lot of those high, thin clouds, so we'll likely still have spots in the cloud cover to see some of the northern lights, but it won't be that clear, crisp sky that we've had over the last couple of nights, which is also going to lead to those temperatures only down into the 40s. But if you're going out this evening tonight between 8 p.m. and midnight, make sure to bundle up because we will still have those temperatures in the 40s. Then tomorrow, it's going to be a very weird day. It's not going to be as cold as it has been, and it's actually going to be about 15 to 20 degrees warmer than the last several days. Some spots could definitely make it into the lower 80s tomorrow. We'll have a steady southwesterly wind out ahead of a cold front, which could bring us a couple light showers towards the evening. You'd say by 8 p.m., a couple showers dotting the map there. Temperatures still in the 60s and 70s, but that cold front, as quickly as it gets us into the 80s and 70s for most of us, it will come back and bring those 40s down for those overnight lows getting into our Saturday morning. And then we'll be back into the 50s and 60s for our Saturday and Sunday. One thing that this cold front is also going to bring into the area is some more of that wildfire smoke. So that'll be with us all day long tomorrow. But even as it passes by, it tries to get the smoke out of here. But we have another low that will develop behind the cold front, and that is going to continue to bring more of that wildfire smoke into the area on Saturday. For those conditions tomorrow, upper 30s, low 40s is what we will wake up to on our Friday. Then we'll get well into the 70s to around 80 for those highs. 7-day forecast looks pretty chilly Sunday through Tuesday. Highs will be in the 50s, even some upper 40s, not out of the question Monday into Tuesday. And then those lows back to the frosty conditions Monday night and Tuesday night as we get well down into the 30s. What is seasonable for this time of the year? 63 degrees for the high and 42 for the low. So a lot of those temperatures next week will be below average, not only during the day, but also at night. If you have any questions about our Aurora possibility, and this would be the best case scenario for the Aurora tonight, that would be with the G4 storm, which we're already seeing right now. Some spots from Northern California all the way to Alabama, the Carolinas could see the Aurora on the horizon, and we would have a really decent shot at seeing it overhead. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check in with the Space Weather Prediction Center, see if they have updated things. As of right now, it looks as though this storm continues to strengthen. We look at the Aurora forecast, so that gives us an idea of the probability of the Aurora happening here, and we look at a number called the HPI, and as that goes up, it is in the 300s right now, and the last time we had it in the 300s was back in May, and that's when we had that G5 storm. So, and it continues to increase right now, so there is a really good opportunity if you wanted to get outside here. I would say starting at 8 o'clock, but maybe even venture out right now. If you have enough darkness, if you're away from the light pollution, I would just look up, look off to the north on the horizon especially, but definitely look up. Use your phone with the low light setting to try and see if you can pick out some of those colors in the sky as we are looking at some very good numbers, some very promising statistics and also promising storm coverage that could bring in the Aurora for us right now as we speak. Still at a K index of an 8, which is going to be that Aurora potentially all the way down to, again, the Carolinas. One other website that I like using is Aurorasaurus. And that is actually a website where anybody across the United States can report if they are seeing the Aurora, if they're not. But that is unfortunately unavailable right now. So I'm hoping that comes back up because I can get a better idea as to where the Aurora is being seen currently. What I am going to do is see if Twitter is maybe giving us some idea of where the Aurora is being seen right now. As of right now, not seeing anything outstanding, but we are still at least covering the Aurora and covering the northern lights and just giving you that idea that the Aurora has a very good shot, very good opportunity at making its appearance here in the state of Michigan. Not only mid-Michigan, but down into Metro Detroit, down into, maybe even Ohio, Indiana, if you have any friends, family that live down there, but especially the Upper Peninsula. Upper Peninsula likely going to have a really good opportunity at seeing the northern lights. One thing I'm also going to check in on is the satellite. We don't have any clouds just yet here in the state of Michigan. Really good news there. But we are starting to see some of those high, thin clouds trying to make their way on in. Wouldn't be surprised if we have a little bit of cloud cover after midnight, but overall, things are looking pretty good right now. And I apologize if some of the sound comes up. I know they're going to be going through the show here, so if the sound pops in as I'm talking, that's just them getting ready for the 10 and the 11. But one other good piece of news, the Tigers are tied. They definitely don't help with our stress levels, but at least right now, things are still optimistic, not only with the Tigers, but with the Aurora, which is very good news there. And hopefully the Aurorasaurus, and I can spell it out for you guys. So it's Aurora, A-U-R-O-R-A, and then Saurus, kind of like Brachiosaurus. I think that's a dinosaur. I just think of bronchitis. But one of those Saurus, or Thesaurus, if you really want to go. But how you can spell it is AURORASAURUS.org. And that, hopefully when it comes back online, we'll continue to see some good reports around not only Michigan, but, you know, in some of the southern states that they could be seeing the Aurora. For those that are in Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, they have likely a really high probability of seeing the Aurora right now. So jealous of them currently, but right now we still are just keeping our fingers crossed. I would say you can go out now if you wanted to try and see it. Use that low light function on your phone camera. And anytime after 8 o'clock, I would say 8 o'clock through midnight is going to be our best opportunity to see the northern lights here in the state of Michigan. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for me. We'll wrap this up, let you get outside, let you get back to the Tigers game. And just kind of I guess you could say, giving you the cliff notes or give you the headlines of this Aurora forecast. Right now, storm continues to strengthen out there, which is going to give us a much better opportunity at seeing the Aurora this evening and tonight. If you wanted the ideal time frame to potentially see the Aurora, it would be 8 p.m. to midnight, maybe even extending to about 2 a.m. We'll see if this storm keeps it up over the next several hours, but it is a very strong storm, and it is kind of on the level of what we saw in May. As of right now, current indications show that, but you'll want to get into a spot where there's no light pollution or very little light pollution. I know sometimes you can't avoid the lights entirely, but we're going to continue to watch out for the Aurora out there this evening, out there tonight, and, you know, just cross our fingers that when we do go out, those lights are dancing across the sky. We can see the greens and the reds and the purples. And if you take any pictures, have any video of it, we'd love to see it. You can chime it in on our website. You can come to our Facebook page. You can post it there. We would love to see any of the pictures that you're able to get of the Aurora Borealis, good luck. Bundle up. It's going to be in the 40s for most of this event. But just know that the prospects for clear skies are going to be a lot better than the storm that we saw in May. Go Tigers. Hopefully they also make us happy tonight. Yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for joining us here again on our Thursday edition of Beyond the Forecast. Rhonda, your daughter is in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Oh, that's really good news. Bright pink sky with the Aurora. And Hershey, Pennsylvania is actually further south than Michigan. So I think we have a really good opportunity. Enjoy it. Take any pictures, videos. We'd love to see them. And we'll show them on our 10 and 11 o'clock shows if you guys post them to our Facebook page. Good luck, everyone. Have a great night.